One night, I'm waiting for the record to play out. I said, I wonder if I put that to myself. I said, if they're waiting for this particular break and I have a couple more records that's got the same breakup in it, I wonder how would it be if I put them all together. And I told them, I said, I'm going to try something new tonight. I'm going to call it a merry-go-round.
You know, Flash was very intelligent, almost scientific. He had these ideas about a way that he could mix these records seamlessly, and that would send him on like this research and development process that was key in him perfecting his technique. Watching most DJs, I grew up hearing two things. Back then, there were people doing mixes on the air on radio. And they would do disco mixes where they would mix in and out of a record really slow, blends. And then Herc style was the opposite. I called it disarray in unison.
The technical aspect, me and him, we go back and forth with that. I say me, he say him.
Wait, say that again, what part?
The technical part, on who did what on the ones, and the whole shit and how it works out. You know, his thing is called a merry-go-round, mine is called the quick mix theory. You know, and I love the ground he walks on.
Kool Herc, without a doubt, is the undisputed founder of this culture we call hip-hop. But when it comes to the hip-hop industry, it would have been totally impossible for it to be created without one man, and one man alone. His name is Joseph Sadler. We call him Grandmaster Flash.
So, Flash, really quick, what kind of nerding out were you doing to even know what a single pole, double switch, whatever was, and the wiring? Like, who were you as a kid to even know this?
I grew up extremely poor, and I always had a fascination with things that plugged into the wall. Is how I figured out that this thing done something. So what I would do, Ebro, was go into backyards where there was burned out cars or where people was throwing away their stereo equipment, and I would bring it into the house.
So as a young teenager, I was unscrewing the back of everything. The stereo in the living room, the table radio, my sister's hair dryers and the whole shit. I became public enemy #1 in my crib. The hair dryer didn't work, Violet was saying, Joe! If the table radio didn't work, the stereo didn't work, the TV didn't work, because when I opened up the back, y'all, I seen these things that look like light bulbs in the back. I'm like, what are these things? When I opened up the hair dryer, I would see these little tiny different colored objects in it. My mom said, listen, you have to stop doing this. I'm going to have to send you somewhere so that you can understand what it is that you are doing, because you're taking apart this stuff, but you can't put it back together. She sent me to Samuel Gompers Vocational and Technical High School. And this is where I learned about Tesla, Westinghouse, Banneker.
Like, I was on this quest to figure out, how is it that you could plug these tiny slits into that tiny little thing and put this, I called it this disc with the black tunnels, and how could you put the arm on it and sound come out of this box? So there was a constant quest on why these things do what they do.
Like Thomas Edison or Tesla, his inventions are the backbone to a multi-billion-dollar industry until this day. When hip-hop consisted of only 4 elements, MC in fact was the last element added, and Grandmaster Flash is the reason that even took off.
Other guys, you know, they just blend it out in between records. And it'll be this big, you know, fucking jumble, like, and then you hear the other record. It wasn't even clean like that. You know, it was just crazy.
And your name, sir, gentlemen?
Easy Mike.
Easy Mike. We're gonna attempt to display for you.
Can I say who Easy Mike is, though?
Yes,
Can I just
do.
say, when I came up with this system, like 47, 48, he spent the night at my house, and he watched me. He was the first person that I showed it to, and then I showed it to the world.
Correction. He woke me up at 3 a.m. in the morning to come see what he just did.
It took 3 years to do, though. There are those, and I look at Wikipedia, I'm so angry at them. I came up with this of building an amplifier and human sampling from no one. My mom taught me what the value of a needle was, and my father kicking my ass taught me the value of what vinyl was. Samuel Gompers taught me how to put it all together. This is what made me fall in love with DJing. The disco DJ. Yo, E, Maboya, Larry Levan, Grandmaster Flowers, Pete DJ Jones. When they play, they don't play like us, but they blend. And they might be between two records for fucking 5 minutes. I'm like watching them, and I'm hearing the other record arriving while the other one is departing. I'm like, oh my God, these people are amazing on what they do. But you and I, we have a shorter runway.
Right.
So I had to figure out how to connect a short runway in a short amount of time.
So when I figured out all these things, and I was absolutely sure of what I had, Mike had spent the night at my house. And I guess it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, Mike, get up, get up, get up. You need to see this thing that I'm doing. And DJs hated me for this because you are not supposed to put your fingertips on the body of the vinyl. Never, 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 ever. And putting a crayon mark on it was like desecration. Like, I remember going around trying to get jobs, Ebro, at the club, but the word already spread. This dude does something to vinyl, man, that's totally disrespectful. Nobody wanted to. Nobody.
He's drawing on the record.
See, the Grandmaster pinpoints the get down part. Sometimes the drums only play for like 10 seconds and the rest of the record is violins and singing. Won't play that bullshit. So he plays the same record on 2 decks. While the get down plays on 1, he cues the same part on 2. Now, I don't know how he knows exactly when to do it, but the moment 1 finishes, bang, he flips the mixer. Beat goes on and on. The beat goes on, the wordsmith can go on.
Man, what the fuck is the wordsmith?
The MC, Master of Ceremonies.
When's the first time you heard the term MCing?
The first time I heard the term MCing, all right, I was playing in 63 Park, Bronx. It's DJing. People were looking at the table. What is this magic trick and this shit he's doing? I needed somebody to take the attention off of me.
Right.
So I put a microphone on the other side of the table, Nori.
Right.
And anybody that could talk to this new style of DJing. Lots of motherfuckers was whack, but it was this one guy that I eventually met. His name was Keith Wiggins. Street name was Cowboy.
Keith Cowboy?
Keith Cowboy.
Okay.
If I played Apache or played whatever, he had a way of having the crowd, I call it hip-hop aerobics almost. He had them here, so now, being the shy geek person that I was, I can go to my collection and go in because Cowboy gonna stay with me. I asked him, do you want to stay with me so we could go to different parks and different areas and do this? And he said, why not?
Grandmaster Flash was playing at a party, all right? And a cowboy, Keith Cowboy, one of his MCs, may he rest in peace, was going into the Army next day. So he's fucking with him on the mic. He like, yeah, so I forgot the dude's name. Somebody know, but I forgot his name.
So Billy was from there. And Flash was playing in the block, right? So Cowboy got on the mic and said, hey, Billy got to go to the Army. He got drafted to the hip hop hip, left, right,
Oh.
left, right, hip.
It was an
up and
army
don't
chant?
stop. Yeah.
Oh.
So.
That's where hip hop came from.
This is fucking me up right now. This is crazy.
And then that cadence became repeated so much, it became like a signature thing, until hip hop, the word hip hop formed. And then Lovebug Starsky was the one who really kind of took it over the top with the hip, the hop, the hip, the hop, the hop, the hop, hip, 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 hip. Hip hop was the most repeated phrase throughout our conversation.
So now, let's take a deeper look into the key to Flash's invention and his quick mix theory.
I have in my hand the key to my quick mix theory.
A crayon, Grandmaster? What's a crayon for? Nice. You're not messing with me, right?
Nah.
Well, what about the get down? You were supposed to show me how to do what you do.
Do not underestimate the crayon.
If you take a look at your favorite DJ's controller or CDJs, the platter has an exact replica of Flash's invention. As a matter of fact, I'll let him explain.
This quick mix theory is twofold. Not only is it the sound source, but it doubles itself as today what we know is a controller. A controller that plays with time. Probably the final stage of it all was taking the crayon and marking the area where the get down part lived. That was the first part. And then I had to come up with, okay, so if this is the block where the get down part lived, then we have to knock on his door and go inside. And this is what I was thinking. So this mark here is what I call the intersector. This is the intersector, and this is the circular. Today they call it cue points.
He did the most taboo thing that you could ever do by touching a record. But he realized that by actually physically touching a record, you can control.
But the Ebro, you also have to understand, this is why I said this to this when I seen you. It also is arguably the actual beginning of what is known today as rap. The house of hip hop goes like this. Graffiti was already, people were already writing. DJ, breaker. I can tell you this, Ebro, until I invented this, there were no rappers. Because it is impossible for the MC to tell their story on top of the verse and the chorus and the bridge and all the singing. They need a complete bed of music. And back then, there was no computers, no PC, no Mac, no social media, no studio, no nothing. It had to be done with just 2 copies of vinyl.